One of the most reliable companions your legs may ever need is a bowl of lentils. Your body may be lacking something that it can no longer create on its own. If your joints are stiff when you wake up, your legs feel tight, heavy, or dry, or your vitality suddenly wanes, there is no bottle or prescription for one of the most powerful ways to restore equilibrium. It is present in the avocado's tender green flesh. Avocados have deep medical benefits in addition to being fashionable. Monounsaturated fats, which lubricate joints, shield nerves, and aid in the production of hormones that maintain the strength and coordination of your legs, are abundant in them. The body's natural synthesis of important hormones, such as estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, slows down after the age of 50. The enzymes that turn cholesterol into these hormones depend mostly on fat, but not just any fat, like the kind in avocados. Healthy fats are not simply fuel for your body. They are also information that tells it to develop rather than break down, to repair rather than retreat. The creation of steroid hormones, which directly impact bone density, emotional stability, and muscle preservation, is fueled by these fats and manifests in your legs. Your legs, something much more important, start to fail before your memory or vision deteriorate. Your body is giving you silent signs long before the first prescription bottle lands on your counter, and it begins with strength. More precisely, your lower body strength. Most people are unaware that the legs are where the first major signs of age and functional impairment appear, rather than the brain. Your legs becoming weaker is not a cosmetic problem. It goes beyond looks or muscle tone. It's a biological warning sign that your body is becoming less resilient. A clinical red flag. The greatest muscles in your body are found in your legs. The muscles that support movement, balance, and circulation are your quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and calves. It's not just trouble getting up or going upstairs as they weaken. It signals the start of a downhill spiral, which includes decreased metabolism, slowed blood flow, unstable joints, and an increased chance of falls. The fact that this muscle loss can start as early as your 30s and 40s and get worse with every decade is even more concerning. You might have lost between 30 and 40% of your muscle mass by the time you're in your 60s or 70s, with the majority of that loss coming from your legs. We refer to this condition as sarcopenia. It's not merely a normal aspect of growing older, it's a neglect-related illness. Additionally, unlike wrinkles or gray hair, it may be reversed, but only if you take deliberate action. The tissue in the legs is metabolically active. They sustain more blood flow, control more hormones, and burn more calories than nearly any other part of the body. They have a close relationship with your nervous system as well. Your mobility, self-assurance, and ultimately your independence all suffer when your leg strength declines. For this reason, hospitals consider leg strength and gait speed as indicators of life expectancy. Your entire body becomes more susceptible the slower and weaker your legs get. This is where it reverses though. Exercise is not the only factor that affects leg strength. What you put into your blood vessels, joints, muscles, and nerves determines this, because they can be revived by nourishment, just as they can be weakened by idleness. The correct meals may rebuild collagen in joints, mend tiny rips and muscle fibers, and even restore blood flow where it has been impaired for years. Powders, injections, and gym memberships are not necessary. You require specialized, potent nutrition that gets to your legs, the area of the body that needs it the most. Food is not a passive thing. It is a message that is biological. It starts sending messages as soon as it enters your body to protect your mitochondria, build new tissue, control hormones, and lessen inflammation. Furthermore, your leg strength is multiplied when you provide it with the appropriate meals at the appropriate times. You are not experiencing leg fatigue. All they're doing is waiting to be fed. Aging isn't the issue. Undernourishment and miscommunication are the issues. Being younger is not a must. You should choose your food more carefully. Today we look at 6 foods that have been scientifically proven to help strengthen your legs, lower inflammation, and boost the hormone signals that safeguard your independence and preserve muscle. These foods aren't super. They are foods for survival. The quality of your life is actually determined by the condition of your legs. You now have the opportunity to eat in a way that promotes both. Before we start today, kindly let me know where you're coming from. Feel free to leave a comment below and ask any questions you may have. Click the subscribe button and turn on notifications as well, so you don't miss any of Senior Health Tips' best health tips. And if you're watching now, I want to know if you're with me. Type 1 in the comments section if you find this video to be meaningful. Type 0 otherwise. Your entire bodily weight is supported by your legs. Every room, hallway, and stage of your life is carried by them. However, as the body starts to fail, they are also the first to suffer in silence. What causes the legs to deteriorate before anything else? Your body's resource allocation and how modern life deprives your lower body of the signals it needs to stay strong are the answers. For your leg muscles to remain healthy, they must be continuously activated. Resistance, blood flow, and nutrient delivery are what they thrive on. However, we spend hours sitting at desks, on couches, and in cars as part of our sedentary lifestyles nowadays. Silence takes the place of the signal that earlier instructed your body to maintain and grow leg muscle, and the body reacts appropriately. Muscle fibers that it no longer believes you need start to break down. Nerve connections weaken, blood vessels narrow, and mitochondria slow. This isn't aging, it's a physiologic response to silence. Hormonal fluctuations also make the issue worse. Your levels of growth hormone, estrogen, and testosterone start to decline as you get older. These hormones have functions beyond mood and energy. They have direct power over your body's ability to grow and repair muscle. Concurrently, the stress hormone cortisol starts to increase more readily and remain elevated for a longer period of time. Instead of promoting strength, chronic cortisol inhibits muscle protein synthesis and encourages fat formation. And where does it initially appear? The legs. Another layer is present. Your muscles can no longer effectively receive oxygen and nourishment as circulation in the lower extremities declines. This results in muscle cell deprivation, a disease known as chronic ischemia. It explains why so many people over 60 start to complain about slow walking, heavy legs, and a stair phobia. It's not because they're too old to get better. The disruption in the supply chain is the reason for this. Here's the good news, though. One of the human body's most metabolically adaptive tissues is muscle. It can be rebuilt, blood flow restored, sarcopenia reversed, and all of this may be accomplished organically, beginning with diet. The effects are dramatic when you feed your body meals that are high in nutrients, have anti-inflammatory properties, and increase blood oxygenation. Your leg muscles experience less oxidative stress. The protein chains required for contraction and stability are rebuilt. Nerve signaling is improved for better coordination, and the mitochondrial energy that drives your every step is rekindled. You already have the answer in your kitchen, but your legs aren't getting old too quickly or being neglected for too long, because food has the power to deliver as well as to harm. Deliver circulation, deliver protein, and deliver recovery. We start our journey through 6 foods in the next section, each of which was chosen because it directly addresses the demands of your legs rather than because it's popular. Foods that empower, heal, and strengthen. A food that not only nourishes but also transforms is the beet, if there is a root that grows deep in the earth, rich in color, and even more powerful. Additionally, your body may be subtly requesting this food if your legs feel slow, heavy, cold, or exhausted. Among the plant kingdom's most extensively researched natural vasodilators are beets. They contain a lot of dietary nitrates, which the body uses to make nitric oxide. Your blood arteries are instructed to relax and open by nitric oxide, a messenger molecule and biological signal. Blood flow increases as a result. Additionally, your legs awaken as blood flow rises. One of the silent killers of leg strength is poor circulation. Joints stiffen, muscles deteriorate more quickly, and nerve signals deteriorate if the lower extremities do not receive enough oxygen-rich blood. This explains why so many people without a definitive diagnosis perceive their legs as numb or sluggish. The blood vessels are narrowed. There is a congestion in the supply chain. Beets restore that flow by raising nitric oxide, but the advantages extend beyond circulation. Your leg muscles will receive oxygen, amino acids, glucose, and micronutrients more effectively if your blood flow is improved. It results in increased stamina when standing, decreased stiffness after climbing stairs, and a quicker recovery after walking. Beetroot juice has been demonstrated in clinical trials to increase walking distance in people suffering from peripheral artery disease, a condition in which clogged vessels deprive the legs of blood. Beets have been demonstrated to enhance balance, gait speed, and even mitochondrial efficiency in healthy older persons. Beets aid in the restoration of the cellular machinery that drives your legs. They increase the synthesis of ATP, the chemical that powers your muscles. Every stride is easier, and every movement is more fluid when there is more ATP available. This excitement is not transient. It's a recalibration of biology. Beets reduce inflammation as well. Beta-lanes, which are naturally occurring antioxidants that lessen oxidative stress in the muscles and joints, are the source of their deep red pigment. Beets help clear the way if your legs stiffen for no apparent reason, swell after standing, or hurt in the cold. These symptoms are indicative of inflammatory stagnation. Additionally, there is a hormonal advantage. By enhancing vascular function, nitric oxide has been demonstrated to indirectly promote the balance of testosterone and estrogen. This promotes muscle tone and performance in males. It facilitates blood flow to the pelvic floor and joints in women. It helps both of them sleep better, think more clearly, and have more steady energy, all of which lead to stronger, more responsive legs. It matters how you consume beets. Most of the nitrates in beets are retained when they are roasted or raw. Although beet juice is potent, tiny doses of concentrated juice are quite effective. A common ingredient in functional nutrition products, powdered beetroot provides a quick and easy solution to increase nitric oxide levels every day. There are advantages to pickled beets as well, but watch out for extra sugars and preservatives. Beets can improve nitrate absorption when paired with meals high in vitamin C, such as lemon or oranges, and their effects can be amplified when combined with leafy greens, such as spinach or arugula. Folk wisdom is not this. Nature's design is the foundation of this clinical biochemistry. Therefore, consider more than just color when you think of beets. Imagine current as a flow that returns to its most critical location. Imagine power in weary legs, warmth in frigid feet, and vitality in numb areas. Keep this in mind the next time you feel like your steps are slow or your legs are heavy. Delivery is more important than muscle when it comes to strength, and the food that delivers is beets. Few things are as effective and comprehensive in the silent battle against aging as chronic inflammation. It weakens circulation, eats away at muscle fibers, stiffens joints, and throws off the hormone balance. Where does it hit hardest and first? The legs. However, nature offers its own solution once more, discovered in the sea rather than a drugstore. Some of the most potent anti-inflammatory foods that science has discovered are sardines and their larger counterparts, such as wild salmon. Sardines are tiny but powerful because they are a great source of omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA, which are vital lipids that the body cannot make on its own. These chemicals are not just for heart health and joint lubrication. They aggressively infiltrate your cells and inhibit genes that cause inflammation. They tell your immune system to stop, rest, fix, and rebuild. Common symptoms of leg inflammation include sore thighs, hurting knees, restless calves, and even a burning feeling after walking. The real problem is nearly always deeper, even though it may be categorized as arthritis, overuse, or just growing older. Tissue accumulation of inflammatory mediators impairs mobility and interferes with mitochondrial energy production. By assisting in the removal of these chemical messengers, omega-3 fatty acids enable muscles and joints to regain their normal fluidity. Vitamin D, a hormone-like substance necessary for bone density, muscular contraction, and calcium absorption, is also abundant in sardines. The majority of adults over 50 suffer from a chronic vitamin D deficiency, which impairs not just bone strength, but also leg power. Your muscles cannot contract effectively if you don't have enough of it. This causes shakiness, instability, and even falls. Sardines are a full package for skeletal protection and leg strength because of their edible bones and special combination of accessible calcium and vitamin D. The protein comes next. Muscle fibers, which are made of amino acids, are the foundation of every motion, step, and squat. The full protein profiles of salmon and sardines include all 9 of the essential amino acids required for muscle tissue growth and repair. They do so, however, without encouraging excessive acidity or inflammation, in contrast to red meat. They are therefore especially well suited for people recuperating from hormonal changes, surgery, or muscle loss. Fatty fish are beneficial for more than simply physical strength. For those who are worried about hormones, which you should be, sardine fats support the synthesis of sex hormones like estrogen and testosterone, reduce cortisol, and regulate insulin. Stronger reactions to physical exercise or walking routines, more consistent energy, and improved sleep are all results of this hormonal support. In other words, the fats in these fish directly fuel the hormones that safeguard your muscle mass. With an additional boost of astaxanthin, a marine antioxidant that combats oxidative stress in the mitochondria, wild-caught salmon provides comparable advantages. Because leg muscles have a high concentration of oxygen-dependent type 1 fibers, this is particularly crucial. Fatigue is the result of high levels of oxidative stress. Controlling it restores endurance. Don't let the sardine's size fool you. This little fish has a library of nutrients that are meant to safeguard your brain, blood, muscle, and bone. They are among nature's most effective healing foods, whether they are fresh, preserved in olive oil, or grilled with seasonings. This is a prescription, not just a recommendation, if you want to walk farther, stand longer, or climb stairs pain-free. Sardines are more than just sustenance. In their edible form, they offer strength and defense. Most individuals don't consider a mineral until they get leg cramps in the middle of the night, tight calves after a stroll, or uncontrollably twitching feet. Magnesium is the mineral in question, and it is concealed in a little inconspicuous item that most people ignore: the pumpkin seed. However, don't be fooled by its immensity. One of the foods highest in magnesium is pumpkin seeds, often called pepitas. Magnesium is the silent conductor of energy production, neurological health, and muscle strength. When magnesium levels are low, your deepest chance for healing, sleep, becomes shallow and fragmented, muscles tense, signals misfire, legs tire more quickly, and recuperation lags. More magnesium is needed in the legs than in nearly every other area of the body. Why? Because they're always moving, supporting your body's weight, modifying your posture, and activating your biggest muscles. Magnesium is necessary for the regulation of calcium and potassium in muscle cells, with every step, contraction, and balance adjustment. Your legs will alert you when you're low because it's the mineral of motion. The magnesium content of pumpkin seeds is not the only benefit. They give it to the body in a way that it can truly absorb. Almost 40% of your daily needs are met by just one handful. And preventing cramps isn't the only goal. Magnesium improves circulation to your extremities by relaxing blood vessels. It improves insulin sensitivity, boosts glucose metabolism, and decreases blood pressure, all of which are important for maintaining leg strength and endurance. There's more, though. Additionally, magnesium is essential for controlling the stress response. The stress hormone cortisol quickly depletes magnesium reserves. Chronic stress and poor sleep cause your body to start leaking this mineral like a broken vessel. The outcome? You wake up with hamstring tightness, ankle stiffness, and thigh heaviness, and stretching doesn't seem to help. A nutritional and hormonal solution is provided by pumpkin seeds. In addition to offering healthy fats and tryptophan, an amino acid that helps raise serotonin and encourage sound sleep, they also aid in replenishing your magnesium stores. Stronger, more stable legs are the result of better recuperation, which is correlated with better sleep. Zinc, another trace mineral that is frequently disregarded but is necessary for the creation of testosterone and immune system function, is also present in these seeds. Low zinc levels in men are associated with delayed muscle regeneration and decreased leg strength. Zinc helps women maintain a healthy estrogen balance and avoid bone demineralization, especially in the lower body and hips. Remember the fiber too. Both soluble and insoluble fibers included in pumpkin seeds promote blood sugar regulation and gastrointestinal health. Your legs don't feel like lead all of a sudden, and your energy doesn't plummet in the middle of the afternoon when your blood sugar is stable. Your diet is the first step in a feedback loop that affects your entire body. You incorporate them into your routine in what way? It's easy. You can add a tablespoon to your morning cereals, a little to your salad, grind it into smoothies, or roast it as a snack in the evening. Whole pumpkin seeds, as opposed to supplements, provide these nutrients in precisely the right amounts. Magnesium and zinc together, protein and healthy fats, fiber and amino acids. Nothing artificial or isolated, just as nature intended. It might not be weakness if your legs are giving you indications, such as cramps, tightening, or fatigue. Maybe it's depletion. And nature's response is pumpkin seeds. Not ostentatious or noisy, but incredibly powerful. It's not necessarily the weight you lift that gives you strength. Sometimes what you replenish is the source. And as life gets heavy, magnesium is the first mineral to disappear. It returns one handful at a time with pumpkin seeds. Few foods are more worthy of attention when it comes to restoring leg strength, promoting blood flow, and maintaining muscle as we age than lentils, which are frequently eclipsed by more ostentatious names in the huge field of superfoods. Nutrition that maintains energy, promotes the production of red blood cells, and strengthens structural resilience is essential for the leg muscles to flourish. And lentils accomplish all three in a quiet, efficient, and comprehensive manner. Packed with protein, iron, zinc, and complex carbs, lentils are a plant-based powerhouse. They provide the building blocks your muscles require to work and heal. Leg tiredness during the day or weak muscles after light effort are rarely signs of age. Rather, they are an indication of anemia or vitamin deficiency. Lentils take care of that from the ground up. Hemoglobin, the protein in your red blood cells that transports oxygen from your lungs to your tissues, depends critically on iron. The transport of oxygen diminishes when iron levels are low. Additionally, your legs are frequently the first to sense it, because they are the area that is farthest from your heart. Breathless steps, chilled feet, and heavy thighs. These are nutritional warning signs as well as cardiovascular problems. Lentils provide a plant-based type of iron that promotes oxygenation and lessens the leaden leg sensation that so many individuals over 50 start to describe, especially when combined with foods high in vitamin C. But iron isn't the only benefit of lentils. Additionally, they supply zinc, a mineral necessary for immune system function, testosterone balance, and cellular repair. Zinc is essential for muscle synthesis and hormone repair, despite being frequently linked to the common cold. Zinc deficiency in older adults is linked to decreased physical endurance, poor wound healing, and frailty. Without raising blood sugar levels or causing digestive distress, lentils provide a consistent plant-based dosage that promotes leg regeneration. And the protein comes next. About 18 grams of high-quality plant-based protein, or enough to assist post-exercise recovery or rebuild weaker muscle fibers throughout the day, can be found in 1 cup of cooked lentils. In contrast to animal protein, lentils include both soluble and insoluble fiber, which promotes a healthy digestive system, enhances blood sugar regulation, and feeds the good bacteria in the gut that secretly but effectively regulate inflammation and muscle metabolism. Additionally, the fiber delays the absorption of glucose, avoiding insulin spikes and energy falls that could weaken your legs during the day. It might not be exertion if you've ever felt powerful in the morning, but exhausted by the middle of the afternoon. It might have to do with blood sugar. With each bite, lentils stabilize this, giving your legs a steady supply of energy. From a hormonal standpoint, lentils aid in the regulation of estrogen metabolism, which is essential for maintaining hip and leg bone density in women, particularly during menopause. Lentils help men become more insulin sensitive and less likely to convert testosterone to estrogen, which is a frequent aging problem that causes lower body fat and muscle loss. Lentils become much more therapeutic when cooked with cumin, turmeric, or garlic. They are as adaptable as they are potent, combining protein with circulatory and anti-inflammatory benefits in salads, soups, stews, and side dishes. Lentils have long been a mainstay in many traditional cultures, not because they were fashionable, but rather because they were dependable. They maintained individuals walking, lifting, and flourishing well into old life by feeding muscle and sustaining energy. Therefore, keep in mind that it doesn't require meat, supplements, or perfection if you feel like your strength is ebbing, or if you just want to maintain what you have left. All you need is consistency. Additionally, nerves and worn-out muscles, and nowhere does this tension build up more than in the legs. There is a little sour, crimson-red dish that speaks directly to this tiredness, but the legs, having carried the weight of the day, often ache into the night. The icing on the cake is that dish. According to nutritional science, tart cherries are one of the most potent natural healing agents. They contain deep red pumpler plant chemicals called anthocyanins, which lower inflammation and oxidative stress in muscular tissue. Tart cherries can be used as a bedtime remedy for those who have chronic knee or calf pain, stiffness in the morning, or leg ache after walking. The dual action of tart cherries is what makes them unique. They serve as a natural anti-inflammatory first. According to clinical research, tart cherry juice lowers C-reactive protein, CRP, a crucial indicator of systemic inflammation, especially in muscles that are under stress from activity or weight bearing. For this same reason, before we start today, kindly let me know where you're coming from. Feel free to leave a comment below and ask any questions you may have. Click the subscribe button and turn on notifications as well, so you don't miss any of Senior Health Tips' best health tips. And if you're watching now, I want to know if you're with me. Type 1 in the comments section if you find this video to be meaningful. Type 0 otherwise. Making food your ally, moving with purpose, eating with clarity, and regaining the strength that has always been yours are all possible at this time. One meal at a time, one stride at a time, one fed, grounded leg at a time. This is how you go up. Lessen oxidative stress in the blood arteries that supply your legs. This translates into improved circulation, reduced inflammation, and more effective oxygen and nutrition delivery where it's most needed. This is essential for avoiding the fatigued, sluggish sensation that causes the legs to seem as though they are walking on sand. Additionally, there is a gut connection. Soluble fiber, which is abundant in avocados, is crucial for preserving a healthy gut microbiota. This is important because the bacteria in your gut affect everything from the metabolism of estrogen to the immune system to the control of inflammation. Less inflammatory chemicals moving through your joints and muscles, less stiffness, increased energy, and more robust reactions to exercise are all signs of a healthier gut. In contrast to artificial fats or processed oils, avocados complement your body. They provide a creamy, gratifying substitute for the dry, brittle sensation that frequently infiltrates aged limbs. They also cleanse, support, and don't clog. Avocados can be added to salads, sliced, put on toast, mixed into smoothies, or just eaten with a dash of sea salt. No matter how you decide to eat them, know that every mouthful is a signal to your endocrine system that there is food available, that you can recuperate, and that you still have strength. Your legs require lubricant in addition to protein. They require the hormonal support necessary for every muscle fiber to fire, every tendon to glide, and every joint to stay supple. Avocados provide that assistance in a way that is both gratifying and therapeutic. The next time you cut into an avocado, remember that you're not just preparing food, you're also preparing medication, and your legs, whether they're sore, stiff, or exhausted, will appreciate it every time you walk. Every evening, the body pleads for relaxation, calm, and restoration. However, in many aging bodies, this voice is muffled by stress, inflammation, overstimulated nerves. Consider it this way. Your muscles atrophy, your joints dry out, your bones become porous, and your coordination deteriorates if you don't produce enough hormones. This takes time to accomplish. It occurs slowly, gradually, and then all at once. But it may be slowed down and often reversed by consuming the proper nutrients, such as avocados' healthful fats and fat-soluble vitamins. Additionally, avocados have more potassium than bananas, which is necessary for nerve transmission, hydration, and muscular contractions. Leg cramps, muscle spasms, or unexplained weariness after walking are common symptoms of low potassium. Avocados naturally and gently repair a potassium shortage, which is a hidden source of weakness, especially in the aged. However, the advantages go even farther. Antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin, which are abundant in avocados, not only shield the eyes but also hormones that keep legs nimble and cover inflammatory joints with restorative lipids. By replenishing magnesium, pumpkin seeds soothe agitated nerves and stop spasms. Lentils provide clean, sustained energy to muscle fibers and help produce red blood cells. Avocados moisturize the joints and restore hormonal equilibrium. Tart cherries reduce inflammation and promote restful, deep sleep, which is the setting for true healing. You don't have to commit intricate routines to memory. You don't have to count every gram or live in the gym. You must eat intentionally. Eat to replenish, not to satisfy. Eat not simply to sit, but to move. You should eat as if your legs were on the line, because they are. This has nothing to do with dieting. Aligning your diet with your body's actual needs, muscle, oxygen, circulation, and recuperation, is the key here. Not once a year, not when the agony gets too much. Daily, silently, regularly, consciously. Each bite you take either adds to your strength or steals it stealthily. Rebuilding the very tissue that underpins your next move is possible with each meal. And as you get older, accuracy becomes more important than volume. The appropriate signals, the appropriate response, and the appropriate foods. Mobility is freedom, not just movement. The freedom to live with dignity, to get up without help, and to walk fearlessly. And your plate is where that independence starts. Let this be the only thing you can recall. You don't have no power. You still have time to recover. Your body pays attention, it reacts. With the correct tools, it rebuilds. And the most potent weapon you will ever use is food. Therefore, eat to strengthen rather than to survive. Eat to change, not to remain the same. Eating is a statement of resilience rather than a response to weakness. Your legs are vital because they are more than just limbs. They bear your past, and with proper care, they will bear your future. After prolonged standing is frequently a sign of circulation problems. Cherry tarts lighten the load. Additionally, their antioxidant content guards against damage to the mitochondria. Your muscle cells' mitochondria are their engines, thus this is crucial. Fatigue creeps in when they falter, especially in the leg's big, oxygen-hungry muscles. These engines are preserved by tart cherries, which make movement easier and less difficult. They are best eaten as fresh or frozen whole fruits, unsweetened tart cherry juice, or freeze-dried powder 1 to 2 hours before bed. A tiny portion is sufficient. The quantity isn't important. It's the signal's timing and quality. The legs only need to be able to circulate, rest, and recuperate. Additionally, tart cherries provide all three in a precise, nourishing, and mild manner. They calm rather than excite. They encourage healing rather than impose it. Tart cherries provide a peaceful return to equilibrium in a society that demands more, louder, and quicker. They are a natural invitation to take it easy, heal, and be ready for the strength you'll need again tomorrow.